Shimano's new 12-speed mechanical gravel group is being built up today on this Scarab frame set. I'm excited about this build for a few reasons. One, this frame set is custom both in terms of geometry and paint. I've got a couple of my own custom tweaks, putting a 44 tooth wolf tooth ring on there because Shimano doesn't go that big. And of course I'm going with my trusty Stages left arm crank because Shimano doesn't make a power meter for GRX. And you gotta know how much power you're putting out to know how much fun you're having, right? Also on this video, we've got professional help coming into the Delaney garage in the form of Alexey Vermeulen, pro gravel racer, pro road, pro mountain, all around pro nice guy, and pro videographer Avery Stumm is coming along. Let's dig into looking at each of these pieces. I'll weigh them as we go, and then we can together ogle over not just the gravel group, but the beautiful frame inside this box. Let's dig in. Steel frame, designed, cut, welded, assembled in Colombia, as well as the beautiful paint. You know, a sense of place is so vital to riding bikes, right? Like, that's part of the fun of our sport. Where we're riding is a vital part of what we're doing. And with this particular paint scheme, the wear is Colombia. This is the Scarab Paramo, which is the gravel bike. You can tweak the geometry both for your own proportions, but also if you wanted bigger tires, skinnier tires. I went a little bit more on the conservative end of a 40 mil tire to have shorter chain stays. Then the custom paint, you get to pick the colors and you can start with different schemes, different overall designs. The Campesinas design, you can pick your own colors. Of course, I went with some blue in here, but the base details are all the same. Hecho in Colombia here, got a little Colombian flag up top. Enjoy the ride. Just go through and weigh parts as I'm popping out of the boxes and putting them on. So we'll start with a BB, threaded BB, 75 grams. Threading it the right way would help. Delaney, come on. Crankset comes in both 1x and 2x options. 2x is my go-to, but I thought in the sake of trying new things, being a good little tester, I should go with this 1x since Shimano has now expanded the range at the back. 172.5 length, 42 rings. This weighs in at 656 grams. Cranks, weight difference to add a power meter. You know, this 205 without and 215 with. Rear derailleur. Again, you've got options. You can have a 2x with a max 36 or the 1x with either a max 45 or a max 51. In the spirit of trying new things, I'm going with the big boy to see if not only the range, but the steps in between feels good and fine. Derailleur with the max 51 tooth cassette range is 294 grams. Use a bench vise right about now, but since I don't, I'm going to use this guy. Measure 3 times, cut once, right? Moment of truth. Lovely. wheels. Turns out you need those for a bike. And we're at 1450 for the set. We're looking at a 32 mil rim. Nice and fat internally. And these guys are hooked. It's a wee little hook, but there's a hook in there. Got some new tires. The Maxxis Reaver. Keegan Swinson last year at Steamboat Gravel took some cross tires and some snips and snipped them down a bit. And this is like a production version of that. It's kind of like the Schwalbe G1 RS that I love, or the Vittoria Dry, which has, the faintest bit of grip in the center and then some bit more bite on the shoulder. So we'll try these guys out. Alexey's blowing me up. Be right back. Hey, bears. And we're back. Now I have adult supervision with professional videographer Avery Stumm here, and or Alexey.
We're figuring it out.
And Alexey Vermeulen and or Avery here to help with my brake bleed because I'm scared of fluids. No jokes, please. And with some camera skills because he knows what he's doing and I'm still figuring it out. So thanks for coming, fellas. I appreciate you. Where should we start?
Well, Avery brought his camera. I brought gloves. So let's get started.
All right.
Where would you like the back brake?
Freedom orientation. Left is front, right is rear. Do I look British to you? Come on, man.
Or Australian. Nice thing about getting any brake line fresh from the factory is it's sealed to start. Once you cut it, then it goes everywhere.
Sealed with fluid already in there.
Yeah, little piece of glue on there. Mm-hmm. Most likely we'll have to cut it though. So we're doing back brake first. If you cut it, you can go from either side, but since we didn't, we are going to go this direction and hope that it goes easily. For the gods. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, so internal, I can argue both sides of internal routing. I think it's beautiful, I think it's clean visually, and it's easier to clean the bike physically. And if there is a line all the way through, happy days. If and when there is not, it's a pretty quick route to a temper tantrum in the garage. So we shall see which one Alexey is.
I'm like, I really hope this is going all the way through.
I would assume so, because otherwise, like, why not deliver it with a little leader line already in there?
Hey!
Opa!
Ben, in my videos, we just toss cardboard anywhere.
Sure.
What do you do here?
Have at it. Yeah, I might need to get some safety glasses if you're coming right up my eyes.
I'm a good throw.
Okay.
Okay, I also just realized this is off camera, or on camera. Never bled 12 speed, but we'll figure it out.
Great. It's both of our first time together.
I was just looking at it like, oh, this looks fun and different.
Feel special, yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of why, like, I had for a while a bunch of different brake kits. Yep. Because like each iteration comes out when you need new connection, and I do it so seldom. I was like, you know what? Like the few times that I need it bled, I'm gonna take it to shop where professionals do it like all day, every day, instead of me doing it like, okay, how did I do this 2 years ago? And
should be pretty simple the way I was gonna bleed it and just cutting. We just do a little bit of gravity bleed from up here. So there's two ways of bleeding.
Yep.
One is a gravity bleed, which usually gives you a better bleed, which just means with Shimano, you're gonna tilt this stand up, you can use gravity to let the oil drop out this other side until you got no more bubbles coming out. Or you can push oil either direction and kind of force that bleed to happen. You're pushing bubbles in and out. So, Benjamin, I think you know this. You know what this is called?
Barb.
No, it's olive.
The olive.
The barbs are
my
the pointy
glasses. You pulled something small out of a can.
I was trying to not show him inside my fingers. Hey, look at this. What is this? Okay. There's no extra olives, but you get extra barbs. But the thing to remember is that you don't need this unless you mess up. Everyone forgets this, but inside Shimano, olives are inside. So most people put 2 in because you don't see the olive, and it's already inside there. So super easy to just plug and play.
Good to know. Once again, I thank you for being here.
Yeah. So we're going to prepare for oil. I'm going to use gloves, but you don't need them.
Okay.
Just because your hands, you look old.
I'm expendable.
You're wrinkled.
It could be a good thing. It could be like an invigorating thing.
No, we have plenty of gloves. I just don't think you need them. But actually, you don't really need them with mineral oil. It's non-caustic. You still want to wipe it off. Alcohol afterwards is the best. But other than making sure you don't have leaks, I typically just do it and wipe off quick. Now, I'm going to give you the little barb.
Yep.
I'm going to grab this for you. You can usually finger push that into the hole a little bit. Yes? No?
Nope. Do you think it's deformed a wee bit?
Yeah, probably. So you can grab your pick. Probably should have told you that anyway. I set you up for the diddle on that one. So you just pretty much push straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little. Perfect.
Okay.
Now you're going to use your hammer. And I'm going to hold tight.
A little finishing nail.
All the way flush. Pretty close. Cool. So now you have inserted your barb.
Yep.
Like I said, easiest thing to forget is that
You've already got an olive.
Yeah, already got the olive inside. So I'll let you hold this. I'm gonna pull this plug. If I can get it without squirting oil everywhere. Then you are just going to push that straight into there, and a little oil will probably come out. And make sure you push it kind of all the way back. To one of these, a little wipe. And then we're going to
tighten her down.
Of course, I got the wrong one. Tighten her down. So the point is to hold, make sure you keep that somewhat in. Doesn't have to be like all the way flush, but somewhat close as you're tightening, which is easier now, but sometimes when you have internal cables, it pulls out too much, and you want the olive to crush down around, which holds this in. And sometimes you can use a torque wrench. I think feeling and just you're not trying to crush everything inside, just crushing the olive. So it's not about this being flush. It's just about it being, having a good feeling like you crush the olive. So now that should be stuck in.
Okay.
One of the things that's great to remember is always just clean off the area you're just working on. So that's alcohol. So see how there's oil there right now? If you kind of just wipe everything off, then once we start squeezing the brake, if we see more fluid there, we know that it came after we theoretically crushed the olive and not before.
So like last night, installed a washing machine, there was water on the ground from taking the old one out, put the new one in, did not mop it up.
You didn't know where it was from.
My wife came in, she's like, what have you done? I'm like, no, it's fine. She's like, it doesn't look fine. I'm like, no, that water was from there before.
So I put a little red friend in here to make sure. So sometimes when you do that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you want to remove the pads and put a full-on brake block in
We can, but I'm going to check if we even need to bleed a brake.
Okay.
So we're going to see.
Okay.
So theoretically, just lost as little fluid as possible.
Yep.
And we're going to do a couple squeezes. Don't forget this.
Right.
We're going to bleed because we want to teach you how, but it's pretty damn strong.
Yeah, I mean, that feels as...
You'll see, we'll connect it, we'll pull a couple bubbles.
Yeah.
But that, when you do this correctly and you have everything around you and ready, you can usually, if you're not like, when you're by yourself, you got to plan a little bit more. Like how do you keep that cable up here, you know, you got to point it up.
Yeah.
But if you can keep gravity going the right direction, usually you don't need to bleed when you're building a bike new.
It's my New York City fixie.
I'm gonna do you one better. That did not work as well as I planned. Take this off. Big thing is not to lose this screw, but also, once we set it down, there is a rubber gasket that looks just like, oh, is there no more? Well, scratch that. New 12-speed does not have a gasket.
Is it on here?
It might still be on there.
I can't see well enough to know if it's on there or not, but I don't think there's one there. On 11, would you leave the gasket in or you'd remove the gasket?
Make sure the gasket's removed.
Okay.
You just want, because the problem is they get stuck on there and you don't see there's two gaskets. And then this has no gasket and you wonder why your brake line's not sealing or there's air getting in slowly. That would be why. So I'm gonna have you hold that because my tape job's not great.
I'm qualified for this job.
So right now, the system's theoretically sealed, right? We got a plunger in.
Yep.
We just plug this in. So hopefully what we're looking for is we're gonna pour some oil in and then we're gonna take the plunger out. We're gonna hopefully see a couple bubbles come out and that should be it. Never too much alcohol.
Amen.
Okay, so now that we have, it's literally all the way down there. That's fun. Surprisingly, this is a professional operation. Pretty much pull the plunger.
Pull the plug.
Yeah, and we're just gonna, oh, Avery missed it, but a couple came out. So next thing is, we got that block in our brake pads. We don't need to put the yellow one in because you just when you're avoiding getting oil there, if you want to get on the brake pads. Right now, we're not in risk of that. So you're gonna flick your cable a little bit, try to get all the bubbles up. Then I can grab the brake a little bit. There's one bubble that's trying to come. See it coming? Oh,
yay!
The camera's not focusing. Sorry. There's one more bubble coming slowly.
Imagine bubbles.
So then you can also grab this plunger, just so Ben knows. You kind of push the plunger in and pull it out. You can pull bubbles out with it by using suction.
Use a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you kind of want to do that until you don't see any more bubbles. See, not really any bubbles down there anymore. It's a dark hole.
Yep.
Cool. Make sure you plug it back. Make sure the brake feels good, because theoretically when it's plugged, it's how it'll feel after. And then hold the bars, and we're going to play the game again. This is closed. This is great to have here, because a little oil will come out sometimes. Like that. And we're going to immediately put our plug back in. Not too tight. And now we just got to clean up that oil that I spilled.
Okay.
It's all over.
Nope.
So far you have done nothing wrong. I've sprayed Avery's camera and I've put oil everywhere. So you're doing great. You shouldn't hire me anymore. So now we're going to test Ben. When's the last time you were in school?
1840 to 2700 years ago.
Cool.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Well, we're going to do a test here.
Okay.
And we're going to see what you learned from what I created. Actually true.
Up we go.
So simple. Boom.
Nice and easy.
Got his finger. Okay, I'm going to hold that up. And we're going to not forget this thing this time.
Yeah, just like overlast a little bit when it gets cut.
Don't let it drip down, because that's where we can't catch it.
Okay.
Perfect. I'll let you do the tip-tip tapping again.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Oh, don't push that too much.
Oh, shit.
You're fine. Now we get to bleed for real. So stick it straight in. Perfect. You're learning so well. Funny thing is, Ben brought me over, but he knows how to do this. He's just doing it for you guys.
You should just do it better. And you have tools.
Tools.
Tools and betterness. These are good things.
So
You want to get film so we can see bubbles? Because there will be bubbles. Yeah.
This time.
There will be bubbles.
This time I can nail it.
Bubble documented. Boop. Boop.
You got a couple. I think that is pretty close to bled.
Okay.
So, biggest things to remember. Yep, plug it before you unscrew it.
Yep.
Probably flatten her back out. The stand is perfect.
It's a sweet stand, right?
Yeah. One-handed. You see that?
It's beefy too. Dave Rome was doing pull-ups on it the other day. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram.
No.
Yeah. There you go. Don't strip it. My urge is to cramp this down, but
Yeah.
that's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Wow, that was more successful than the first one, I think. Teamwork involved.
Still want to tighten it down more.
Don't tighten it down anymore. I didn't like you going back into the leverage.
Or just until I hear it creak, then I'll back it off a quarter turn.
You know those videos that you just see people like purposely destroying things? You ever seen the chiropractor videos that are going around right now? Like with the skeleton? Like,
yeah,
let me help
like
you.
the Halloween. Yeah.
That's kind of what it'd be a good video if you ever have a broken shifter. You're just.
Gents, thank you very much. Much appreciated. That has been a big help of the professional skills and the tools. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Watch these guys on the socials and on their YouTube channel.
I'm excited to see this come together. Let's go ride when I'm done with off season.
Okay. See you in January.
Boom.
Okay, let's weigh some more pieces and then put the rest of this puppy together. 1051 cassette. There's 3 new things here. One, first time Shimano's had a 12-speed gravel group. Shram's like, yeah, where you been, Shimano? 2, first time Shimano has gone down to a 10 for gravel, requiring a new free hub. And then third, first time Shimano has gone up to a 51 for a 1x on gravel with the GRX derailleur. Turn off my compressor. Got a wee leak in the hose here, so sorry about that noise. Let's weigh this puppy. 1051 cassette, 471 grams with a little piece of plastic, so call it 465 or so. 12-speed cassette. It'll get shorter as I cut it, obviously, and a little lighter, but as is, 283. So here you have it, the Scarab Paramo with Shimano 12-speed GRX. Big thanks to Alexey for helping me out with the brake bleed. Big thanks to Avery for helping me out with the video. Stay tuned for a review on the bike and the group down the road. I'll be riding it quite a bit through the winter. In the meantime, you know what to do. Take a peek at the bike. Okay, let's just do some introductions.
What am I saying?
Just say who you
It's
are.
more fun when you don't. Are we actually gonna do real introductions to start?
You can do fake introductions. Hi, I'm Avery Stumm. This is my new channel.
I'm Ben Delaney, professional filmmaker.
And I'm Sir Willie the Wiener.
I'm Alexey Vermeulen here with my special guest today.
Alexey Vermeulen.
Avery Stumm. And we're missing Willie, but we're gonna build a bike now.